Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
hmm
Today we're headed to Dubai, but not just for the usual sights and sounds.
Right, we're going way beyond the Burj Khalifa and those impressive man-made islands. This time we're looking at a city.
Yeah, a whole city practically built around an airport.
Dubai is known for its ambition, but this is next level. They're creating a mini metropolis.
And it all revolves around this new airport.
Al Maktoum International Airport. It's 5 times bigger than their current airport.
Dubai International, which let's not forget is already a global hub.
Oh yeah, one of the busiest airports in the world.
And I saw they handled almost 90 million passengers in 2024.
It's bursting at the seams, and they can't just tack on another runway or two.
Impossible.
So they turned to Al Maktoum, and this isn't just adding a few gates and a Starbucks. We're talking a whole different scale.
Okay, so paint the picture for us. What are we looking at here?
This airport is designed to handle 400 aircraft gates, 5 parallel runways,
Whoa, wait, 5 runways.
and over 12 million tons of cargo every year.
Okay, so not a small town.
No, not even a suburb. Think major city.
Seriously.
Projections suggest it could house and employ around 1 million people.
1 million people.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
wild. I mean, that's bigger than some countries.
That's the scale we're talking about here. Residential areas, commercial districts, entertainment, you name it.
It's woven into the fabric of this airport city.
Precisely.
So it's like a city with a really, really big airport in the middle of it.
You got it. And this ties right into Dubai's D33 economic agenda. This plan aims to double the size of their economy.
In the next decade? That's ambitious.
It is. And attracting tourism investment is a huge part of it. This airport city is key to that.
So it's not just building something cool, it's about solidifying Dubai's position.
As a global powerhouse, they're making a statement. We're not just a layover.
We're the destination.
Exactly. And they're putting their money where their mouth is.
How much are we talking here?
128 billion dirhams.
Oh.
Making it the most expensive airport project ever.
Bold move.
Hmm.
But why are they so confident they can pull this off?
Dubai has a history of turning big visions into reality. Look at the Burj Khalifa, the Palm Islands, those indoor ski slopes.
Right. They've always pushed the limits.
Defying expectations.
That's like they're saying if you can dream it, we can build it.
Bigger, bolder, more extravagant than anyone else.
But is it all about spectacle, or is there more to it? I mean, besides the obvious tourism boost.
That's where things get really interesting. This isn't just about moving people or cargo. It's about positioning Dubai.
At the forefront of a new era.
Global connectivity.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Think about the potential for innovation, new industries.
New ways of living and working taking shape.
It's a shift in the very fabric of urban life.
A city that pulses with global travel, where business deals happen between flights.
Where cultures collide in the airport lounge. That's the vision they're chasing.
And whether they fully achieve it or not, the impact will be felt way beyond Dubai.
Absolutely.
It's really fascinating to think about the ripple effects a project like this could have. We've talked about the economics, but what about the social and cultural side of things?
Right. What would it actually be like to live in a city built around an airport?
Yeah, will it be a transient community, just people passing through?
Or will it become a place where people actually put down roots and build a life?
It would have to be such a unique environment.
It would, with a constant flow of people from all corners of the globe.
Would it feel like a true melting pot of cultures?
Or more like a series of separate bubbles, people living near each other but not really interacting.
That seems like a real challenge for Dubai.
It is. They'll need to create a sense of community, a shared identity that goes beyond just being the airport city.
So how do you do that?
Well, you have to design spaces that encourage interaction, that foster cultural exchange.
Make people feel like they're part of something bigger.
Exactly.
Are there any examples from other cities that have tackled something similar?
Definitely. Think about places like Singapore or Hong Kong. They have big international populations and are major travel hubs. They've really invested in public spaces, cultural institutions, things that bring people together.
So maybe we'll see parks designed for impromptu performances, museums showcasing all the different cultures, passing through community centers, hosting language exchange programs.
That would be amazing to see how they weave the airport experience into daily life.
And then there's the tech side of things.
Oh, yeah. The possibilities are endless. Imagine a city designed for completely seamless travel.
Integrated transportation systems, personalized wayfinding.
Maybe even self-driving vehicles, moving people and goods throughout the city.
It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Right.
But let's bring it back down to earth for a second because we have to talk about sustainability.
Yeah, of course.
Building a city of this scale, even with the best intentions, is going to have a big environmental impact.
No question. Dubai is in a desert environment, so there are already challenges with water and energy.
And building a city this size will only make those challenges bigger.
Exactly.
So what's the plan to deal with that? Are they investing in renewable energy?
They've talked about incorporating sustainable practices into every part of the project.
Like solar power?
Yeah, solar power desalination plants innovative ways to handle waste.
Wow.
They're even looking at vertical farms and green spaces.
To lessen their reliance on imported food.
And create a more pleasant urban environment.
It seems like they're thinking about sustainability in a really holistic way.
It's not just about individual technologies, it's a guiding principle for the whole project.
And they really have to be thinking that way because the world is watching.
Absolutely. They know this needs to be a showcase for sustainable development.
Proof that you can build a city of the future without wrecking the planet.
Right?
It's a bold goal. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
It will.
But there's another big question we haven't touched on yet, the economic risks.
Mm-hmm.
This is a massive investment with a lot riding on it. What happens if things change?
Like what?
If global travel patterns shift or another major hub emerges?
That's a valid concern. Dubai's betting on the continued growth of global travel and trade?
And any disruption to that could have a huge impact.
Definitely.
So it's not a sure thing. There's a lot of risk involved.
There is. But maybe that's part of what makes it so captivating.
A high-stakes gamble.
With potentially huge rewards.
But also the chance of some major setbacks.
You got it. And that's why it's so fascinating to follow. This is a real-time experiment.
And urban development.
A bold attempt to shape the future of cities.
And whether it succeeds or fails, there will be so much to learn from it.
Absolutely. This is a case study that urban planners and economists will be analyzing for years.
It raises some really fundamental questions about the future of our cities. Will we see more of these airport-centric urban centers popping up?
Yeah. And will the lines between cities and airports continue to blur?
How will that change the way we live and work and interact with each other?
These are all things we'll have to grapple with as our world becomes more interconnected.
But even beyond the practical side, there's something really inspiring about Dubai's willingness to dream big.
Oh, absolutely.
They're not afraid to push the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a reminder that we don't have to settle for the status quo. We can create new realities, even if they seem audacious at first.
It's a testament to human ingenuity and the potential for innovation to shape the future.
And that message resonates far beyond Dubai.
Absolutely. It's a call to action for all of us to think bigger,
Bolder.
more creatively.
About the challenges we face and the opportunities that lie ahead. We've been talking about this airport city as like a potential model for the future.
Yeah.
But what if we flip the script a little?
Go.
What if instead of building cities around airports, we started thinking about airports?
As part of cities.
Yeah, like integrated into the urban fabric.
That's interesting. It challenges the way we usually think about airports.
As these things on the outskirts.
Right, separate from the city.
Exactly. What if we could make air travel just a seamless part of the urban landscape?
More accessible, less disruptive.
Imagine just hopping on a high-speed train that takes you right to your terminal. Or even using those vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
Oh, yeah. So you wouldn't need these massive airports.
You could have more decentralized air travel.
It would require a whole new approach to urban planning.
Absolutely. And transportation infrastructure.
But it's not impossible.
No, not at all. We're already seeing those advancements with Hyperloop technology and electric aviation.
And think about the potential benefits: less traffic congestion, lower emissions.
We could use urban space way more efficiently.
You might even see certain neighborhoods revitalized.
Oh, yeah. The areas around those transportation hubs could become super desirable.
It's a really cool idea.
It is.
But of course, there are challenges.
Of course, noise pollution safety concerns gentrification.
We'd have to address all of that.
Definitely.
But even with its imperfections, I think Dubai's airport city is pushing us in the right direction.
It is.
It's making us think differently about the relationship between cities and air travel.
It's a bold experiment that could lead to some really innovative and sustainable solutions.
It's definitely starting a global conversation.
It is, for sure.
So for our listeners out there who are maybe planning a trip to Dubai or just fascinated by the future of travel,
Yeah.
what are some of the big takeaways from our deep dive into this airport city?
Well, first, Dubai is proving that the limits of urban development are constantly being pushed
They're not afraid to think big.
and invest in those ambitious projects.
Second, the integration of air travel into our cities is only becoming more important.
And projects like this are forcing us to rethink how we design and build our urban environments.
And lastly, sustainability has to be a top priority.
It can't be an afterthought.
It needs to be the foundation for everything we do.
From the building materials we use to how we manage those resources.
I think those are some really valuable insights to keep in mind.
Absolutely.
So as you're planning your next trip, whether it's to Dubai or somewhere else entirely,
Yeah.
take a closer look at the airports and the cities you're visiting.
Pay attention to the flow of people, the infrastructure, the way space is used.
And think about how things could be done differently.
What possibilities does the future hold?
Because the future of our cities isn't set in stone.
That's right.
It's something we create through our choices, our investments.
And our willingness to embrace those bold new ideas.
Maybe the next big urban innovation will come from something you observe on your travels.
It's been great exploring this with you.
Me too. I always love diving into these complex topics and thinking about how we can make things better.
To all our listeners out there, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of airport cities.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new along the way.
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep imagining the possibilities.
We'll see you on the next deep dive.